So here we are in the parking lot of Tioga Pass. Pass is off to the right. There's a ranger station up there. You can see a little building way in the distance. I'm not sure what's in the building. There's this awful smelling outhouse over to the left near the building. So we're just getting ready here. There's Cammy in the front getting ready, and there's Way and Lan, and can't really tell. I assume that's Susan there. And so it's about 9 o'clock now, and we're just about ready to start our hike. So we've just started the hike. We're just a few minutes into it now. The first section of it is pretty flat, and I spent actually most of the hike thinking that we were hiking south, because Tioga Road runs basically from west to east, and but right before Tioga Pass it heads north, and so we're going off to the right of the road. So since it's going north, we're actually heading east, and this is looking back the way we came. So this is actually looking roughly west, back toward Tuolumne Meadows. I'm not sure which mountain that is, but anyway, that's just the beginning of the hike. So we're starting to do our climb now. Still a lot of trees down here. There's Reza in the back. You see his garbage bag hanging off the side. He's got his knee brace on his left knee. It's kind of hard to make out everyone else up there, but this is pretty much what the beginning of the hike looked like. Fairly green, but you know, it starts out flat, but climbs pretty quickly after that. These are some wildflowers near the beginning of the hike. I never really took a lot of pictures of flowers before, but I saw Kane was taking some pictures of them, so I thought, that was kind of colorful. So pretty happy with the way this picture turned out. So here's another look on the near the beginning of the trail. There's Rez again. I just have a lot of pictures of them because we're hiking pretty close together most of the time. You can see the trees starting to thin out there. And no, that's not Mount Dana in the background. That's just looking basically to the left of Mount Dana. We're going to be heading more toward the right. You'll see how steep it's going to get, though. So this was taken by Cammy. Angie and Cammy decided to turn around at this point, and so they took a picture before heading back down. So there's we started the hike with 12 of us. So now there are going to be 10 of us left going up. I think you can only really count 9 people in this picture. Someone, I think Susan is hiding behind Way or somewhere. So we're now above the tree line. As you can see, there's pretty much just cruddy looking grass on the ground, and there's snow behind. That's me and Kane. He's got his trekking poles there, and this is again looking west, back toward Tuolumne Meadows, and you can see it's pretty steep here. So the rest of us were well, kind of basically scared, or at least I was scared of hiking in the snow, especially considering it was steep snow. I had never really hiked in the snow before. I didn't really know what it was like, and to tell you the truth, I didn't even try it. But here's Daryl. He's pretty experienced, and he's just heading straight up the snowfield while the rest of us are going up the switchbacks on the rocks. When we started the hike, it was basically clear blue skies, as usual. And you can see the clouds starting to form, though, off to the right in the picture. And you'll notice them increasing as the slideshow goes on. The higher we got, the more we'd see these little creatures. I guess actually we saw them mainly in two places. Once at the plateau near the middle of the hike, and this is where this marmot is. And they're very playful and kind of like, you know, squirrels who like sit there and look cute and beg for food. Anyway, they're harmless though. So this is the plateau near the middle of the hike, and so you can see there's Lan with her arms spread out in front of Reza. Kane's looking up at the mountain, taking a picture of Mount Dana. You can see the clouds getting worse. And here's Jean. She's not looking too happy there. So at this point, Lan and Susan decide to stop and call it a day and head back down. So the rest of us, there are now 7 of us. Is that right? No, 8 of us. There's me, and you can't see Jenny. She's off playing with the marmots right now, I think. And so the 8 of us, me, Jean, Jenny, Reza, Daryl, Kane, Wei, and CJ, who I don't see in this picture either. The rest of us are going to go up. So basically we'll go left across that snowfield and then up toward the ridge, and then follow the ridge up toward the peak. Of course, Daryl will just go straight through the snow, but that's what the rest of us will do. But because of the clouds, well, we're pretty, well, at least Reza and I are kind of concerned that we won't be able to make it before the thunderstorms start. At this point, I think it's like 11 o'clock in the morning, and the day before we'd gone up Lembert Dome, and we reached the bottom. Well, we went up, and then we came back down, reached the bottom around noon, and as soon as we got back down, it started raining. And just a few minutes after that, it just started pouring, and thunder and lightning and all that stuff. So, you know, we didn't really want to be up at the top when there's lightning. So, and it's 11 o'clock now. So, I don't know. It's just, you know, you just keep going and turn around when you think it's not safe anymore. But we'll see what happens. So this is the only picture I took on the way up from that plateau up to the peak. Basically, I was so tired, just gasping for breath most of the time. Well, maybe not gasping, but you know, I just didn't feel like taking my camera out and taking pictures. I think at this point, I decided to take a fairly long break, and, well, relatively speaking, you know, just a few minutes anyway. And so I took my camera out and took a picture of Rez. I don't believe that's a peak right behind us. I think that's a false summit. There are a few of those, at least a couple, before we reach the top. But at this point, we're above 12,000 feet, and I really started noticing the lack of oxygen. You know, we'd spent a couple days in Tuolumne Meadows, which is like 8,700 feet to acclimatize. But you know, when you reach 12,000, there's not as much oxygen, and I don't know. Well, I'll say more about that later. But anyway, at this point, we just passed by this ridge where we'd been walking, you know, up the slope toward the ridge. with our heads down and just concentrating. And we finally reached the ridge, and it was just had this amazing view of Mono Lake and what I now know is Dana Lake down below, which is this amazing blue color. I've never seen a lake like that before, and I mean, all of us are like, wow, it's amazing. But the funny thing is, none of us took a picture of it because we were so winded. And the other thing was, we thought that, well, we'll just get a picture of it on the way down. But as it turns out, we didn't actually come down the same way, so we didn't get any pictures of that. So, oh well, I guess one of these days we'll have to at least hike out to Dana Lake. You can actually hike out there, and there are glaciers in that canyon where the lake is, so that'd be a nice hike. But anyway, so Rez and I are getting pretty close to the top, and down below, well, Daryl is up ahead of us, and Way is pretty close to us. Kane's further down, and let's see, and Gene and Jenny are further behind Kane, and CJ has given up. He's been suffering from altitude sickness, and he's heading back down. And we're communicating with each other through these talk about radios, so we can figure out where we are and how we're feeling. And I think at this point, Rez and I were thinking about turning around. You can see the sky. You see a little tiny patch of blue off on the left, and that's about it. Pretty much the rest of the sky is pretty gray. So we're thinking, maybe we should start heading down. But well, we just kept going for now, thinking we'd turn around as soon as we thought we had to. So here we go, and here we are at the top. Just about, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes after that, the last picture. And Daryl was up there at the top. He reached the top probably about 10 minutes before we did. Way and Reza and I reached the top after him, and I didn't know this. Well, I saw Daryl. He was sitting there reading something. Turns out that he was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead or something like that. Seemed appropriate. But so we had there were a couple other people at the top when we got there, and we had them take some group pictures for us. It's Mono Lake in the background, and again you can see the sky, lots of clouds, and I guess I'll just run through these other pictures here. So here's another group picture of the four of us at the top. Not sure if you can see, but we're standing in the middle of this kind of like a wind shelter built of rocks just stacked up there. And behind us, that's Yosemite. We're looking west here again. So here's a better picture of, you can see the rock formation there that someone had built up. I don't know how long it's been there, but that would be useful in a storm. Just hunker down, but of course, hopefully you wouldn't be up there in a storm. So I took a panoramic picture. Basically, I took 3 or 4 pictures in a row, and then I actually had to move because I wasn't actually standing on the very peak. I was kind of circumnavigating the peak, just like 10 feet below it. Well, okay, maybe not 10 feet, maybe 5 feet, something like that. But anyway, so this is the first sequence of pictures. This, I believe, is looking roughly southwest. See, some of those clouds are pretty dark, and we're not going to stay up here too long. We stayed at the top for about 20 minutes before heading down. And while I was up there, every time I sat down, for some reason, I don't know, it seemed to be better when I was standing up, but whenever I sat down, I had this tremendous splitting headache from the altitude. And that was another reason that I wanted to get down. But took a couple of ibuprofen and tried not to sit down too much, and it was okay. So this is just a connecting picture with the previous frame. Just looking further. Well, again, I'm basically turning to the right, taking these pictures, and again, you can see a little blue sky, but a lot of dark off to the right. So this is just looking off to the right again. It's actually a fair amount of blue sky you can see off. Well, I don't know, maybe the picture's deceiving. I don't remember seeing that much blue sky. But of course you can see that big dark cloud right in the center. So I've moved a little bit. I readjusted my position and taken another set of I think 3 pictures. This is looking out roughly east towards Mono Lake. Well, more like northeast. And I'm just going to be turning to my right again and get some more pictures. And again, just looking right some more. So now we're looking more east. And I guess the bulk of the storm is coming from roughly southeast, coming in. So I thought I'd put all these pictures together in one big giant frame so you could maybe get a better sense of it. Basically you want to read or look at these pictures from left to right, top to bottom. So starting in the top row, well basically you've seen all these pictures in the previous few frames, but these are all put together. So you can kind of imagine what the view was like from the top. So after spending our 20 minutes at the top, while we were up there, just before we left, Kane reached the top, and just basically about a minute after he reached the top, Rez and I decided to start booking down that mountain. So we've gone down. I don't know. We started heading down in maybe about 10 minutes, and we could see Jean and Jenny coming up, and basically for the past, I don't know, maybe past 10, 20, 30 minutes, I don't know, we've been trying to convince Jean and Jenny to turn around because we didn't think they would be able to make it up before the storms hit, and you know, it wouldn't be a good place to be up there. So just trying to convince them that it wasn't worth the effort to go up the rock field that we had to go up. But anyway, they didn't listen to us. You can see below them there's that ridge that we were standing on where we had that great view of Mono Lake and Dana Lake. If you look really, really closely, maybe you can see Jenny's pack. Okay, probably not, but she did leave it there because they were trying to shed weight, basically, and they figured that they'd come down the same way and retrieve her pack on the way back, but that didn't happen. They didn't know that at the time, but anyway. So they're coming up. There's Jenny and there's Jean behind her. When they basically reach us, they kind of stop, like they're trying to make some sort of decision or something, and they put down Jean's pack, and then they start running up to the top. And at this point, well, we can start to feel some raindrops. I'm not really sure of the order, but I think we started to feel some drops as they were reaching near the top. And I told Jenny to that she didn't need to take a lot of pictures up there because I'd already gotten a panoramic. And well, apparently she got up to the top, and she took her pictures anyway. And apparently they were pretty scary looking, because you saw the dark clouds in mine, but they reached the top, I think about, well, Kane reached the top about 20 minutes after us, and then Gene and Jenny reached the top about 30 minutes after he did, so, you know, almost about 50 minutes after we reached the top. So the clouds are a lot darker in our pictures apparently. I haven't seen them yet, but that's what I've heard. Anyway, so Rez and I are going down, and Kane and Wei and Daryl are behind us, heading down as well. And Gene and Jenny just reached the top. And then, well, as Gene and Jenny were heading down, I think just a couple minutes after they started heading down, the thunder and lightning struck. And I just remember hearing the lightning, well, hearing the thunder. I never actually saw the lightning, but Wei said that it was probably like a mile away or something. Fairly close, actually. It sounded really close. And I just remember hearing that thunder, and I looked up, and I saw Jenny, and she was the highest person up on the mountain. She was like maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 vertical feet from the top. And I just saw her just basically duck. Like she was trying to avoid being hit. And I don't know. After that, we all just raced down the mountain. Luckily, no one got hit. And well, so we started going down the mountain, and well, then it starts raining some more, and then it starts hailing. I'm wearing shorts. And, well, thanks to Wei. I remember waiting at the very top of the mountain thinking, I wonder if I should put my shell pants on. But Wei convinced me that I didn't really need them. He didn't have any, so I guess he figured that I shouldn't have any either. But actually, so it's hailing in there on our way down, and I actually stopped and to put my shell pants on. I mean, the hail is just just like pins and needles hitting you on your legs, and so I actually just stopped and put my pants on and continued down. So I'm just sort of going on and on, and can't really see all this from this picture, but the thing is, basically, you know, I didn't take any pictures from this point on until you know, the rain and the hail and the lightning and thunder stopped, which was I don't know, a good, I don't know how long it was anymore. Your sense of time just gets sort of warped in these situations, but I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. Anyway, I did get one picture of Gene glissading down the mountain. Can't really see her very well, so I didn't put in this picture in this slideshow though. And basically, you know, everyone started glissading down. Basically, we got tired of hiking on the rocks, and we just went into the snow. And I have to say, it was a lot easier, and I wish I had done that sooner. But well, anyway, eventually we all made it back down to the plateau where we, you know, I'd taken those pictures before. But Jenny, well, she was kind of disappointed that she didn't get her pack, and she was actually going to ask someone. She saw some people hiking up the mountain, and she was going to ask them to look for her pack. But we told her to forget about it, and that, you know, we just get her a new pack for her birthday or something. So Jenny is sporting this big goofy smile on her face because, well, Daryl did retrieve her pack, and he'd like gotten back down to the plateau so far ahead of us that he put it down and started burying it under this pile of rocks. And so we got down there, and I guess everyone else knew what was going on, and they put like a water bottle on top of it, and Jean threw her keys in there, and they told Jenny to retrieve it. And then she gets the stuff, and then she looks down and said, "Hey, what's that in there?" And then she realizes it's her pack, and then she starts digging it out. So, had to get a picture of that. So we've started descending from the plateau. There's another small plateau before we make our final descent. See, the clouds are still pretty dark, but basically once we reached the plateau, the rain pretty much had stopped, at least where we were. I think there was rain, further off in the valley, or in Tuolumne Meadows, but it was basically fine the rest of the afternoon. This is just a picture near the bottom. We're getting pretty close to our goal of reaching the end of our hike, and this is just a little lake off to the right of the trail near the bottom. And here we are at the bottom. We all made it in one piece. Reza had some problems with his knee on the way down, and took it easy, but he managed to borrow Kane's trekking poles, and that helped him a lot. So anyway, we're all here. Lan and Susan were there waiting for us. They'd been there for a while, and we'd actually talked to them over the radios. And they'd actually gone ahead and made reservations for all of us at the Tuolumne Meadows. I'm not sure what the place is called. Well, the place for dinner, basically. The lodge, basically. That's what it was. The Tuolumne Meadows Lodge, and so we're looking forward to a nice hot meal. You can't really see Mount Dana that well because of the exposure, but it's there right in front of the clouds. And there we are.